ASDIP Foundation 4 will be released soon. It includes great new features and improvements, including 2 new modules. This is Javier Encinas, and today we're going to discuss some of the most important changes in this new version of ASDIP Foundation 4. Let's get started. When you open ASDIP Foundation, you see the Project Manager, which is this window. Here you can see the modules that are included in this version. It's spread footing design, strap footing design, combined footing, wall footing design, and pile caps. In the previous version we had these 3 modules included, so these 2 modules at the bottom, wall footing and pile cap design, are new modules in this new version 4. Let's open a calculation of spread footing. This is the spread footing module. In the left pane you enter all the input information. In the right pane you see the results. In the Geometry tab you enter all the geometric information both for the footing and for the column. In the Loads tab you enter all the information regarding the loads. If it's a set of nominal loads, you enter the dead, live, roof life, snow, wind, and seismic loads. If it's a pre-combined set of loads, then you enter the service and the factor loads applied to the footing. The materials, you enter all the information regarding the footing and the column. And in the rebars, it's in the reinforcement tab for the footing and for the column as well. Here at the right, you can see the at a glance with information in a summary of the results. Then in Condense, you see the results in a little bit more detail. In the Detail tab, you can see the very detailed calculations with exposed formulas and with references to the code. And finally, in the Graph tab, you can see graphically the results. Here the bearing, here the one-way shear, here the punching shear, here the bending, here the column interaction diagram, and finally the construction details. One of the changes in this new version is the load combinations. If we go to the load combination window, the previous version included only these 2 options for the ASDIP 710 or 16 or ASDIP 705. In this new version we have added this 3rd option, which is user-defined combinations, custom combinations basically. When you click on this option, all these fields are editable, so you can input any numbers there. For example, 1.1, 1.2, we can add 1.2, 1.5 for life. If I click OK, then the program uses this combination that I have just created. Or if we use the standard combinations for ASDIP 705 or 10, then just click on the corresponding ratio button. Another important change in this version is that the results can be sorted by load combination. We have added at the bottom this combo box where you can select the combination that you are interested in, and the program automatically updates information accordingly. And the same applies for every single graph in the program. So you can sort the calculations by load combination as well. Same for bending. So in this new version we have included a couple of new features regarding the load combinations. First, that the load combination can be custom. And second, that the results can be sorted by load combination as well. In the previous version, the graphics only show the controlling load combination. Now you can click on the box and select the corresponding load combination that you are interested in. If we go back to the Project Manager, we can see a strap footing example. Here we can see the 3rd option in the load combination window. If we go back to the Project Manager, we can open the combined footing. We go to the Graph tab. You can see at the bottom also the load combination. So all the results can be sorted by load combinations in this version. Similar for the diagrams, also by load combination. If we go here to the load combination icon, we can see the third option as well. This is implemented in all the modules in this version 4. In addition to these 3 existing modules in the previous version, we have added 2 modules in this version. One is the wall footing. We open that module. This is the new module in ASDIP Foundation 4. You enter all the geometric information on the footing and on the wall. In the loads tab, you enter the loads as a series of nominal loads, load cases, or as a single set of pre-combined load. In the materials, you enter information about the footing and about the wall. In the reinforcements, some controls to optimize the rebars for the footing and for the wall. If we go to the load combinations, we can see also the third option here to, for custom load combinations in this module as well. In the results, at a glance, you can see in one page a summary of the results. You can see easily what is failing. For example, here the maximum bearing pressure is more than the allowable bearing pressure, so we need to check what's wrong with the bearing pressure in this example. We go to the contents tab. You can see in more detail the calculations, but also grouped by topic. Here, for example, in shear and the controlling load combination, transfer, bending, sliding, the overturning calculations, and so on. If we go to the detail tab, you can see the calculations in great detail. You can see the exposed formulas, step by step, all the calculations, also grouped by topic and showing the controlling load combination. You can see also the reference to the ACI code, load transfer calculations, bending calculations. Graphically, you can see soil bearing pressures, also sorted by load combination, as in the rest of the modules. In the shear tab, you can see the one-way shear at a distance d from the face of the wall, sorted by load combination as well. In the bending tab, you can see the moment at the face of the wall for both sides. In this case, the wall is eccentric, so you can model the wall anywhere in the footing. Could be completely eccentric or concentric, just at the center of the footing. Finally, the construction tab, showing the rebars for both the footing and for the wall. If we go back to the project manager, let's open a calculation for a pile cap. This is a completely new module in ASDIP Foundation 4. This has been requested for a long time from our customers, and finally we have added this module to ASDIP Foundation 4. In the geometry tab, we enter the geometric information from the piles, the number of piles, edge distance, pile spacing, and the accidental pile offset, typically 3 inches. This is to either include or exclude a pile in the border of shear or punching shear limit. If the pile is round or square or a steel HP pile, the pile size and the pile top embedment, typically 6 inches. Here we can specify the battered piles. For example, these battered piles are identified by a blue arrow, so it's very simple to specify battered piles, and here we specify the angle of the batter. When you click OK, all this information is transferred to the module. If we click on the graph tab, here we can see the pile reactions. Here we can see the actual loads on the piles, and the piles are numbered, like number 1, number 2, and the corresponding actual load per load combination. Here we can select any other load combination and the numbers change accordingly. or we can simply specify the controlling combination, and the program internally finds that the controlling combination is 1D plus 1L. If we go to the one-way shear, the program calculates the one-way shear for the column at distance D from the column. Note that the column can be eccentric in the pile cap or concentric. We control that here in the column tab. Offset is 12 inches in X and 12 inches in Z. So we can specify any other dimension, and the column moves accordingly. This is for one-way shear at the column face in X and in Z. Also for sorted by load combination. In the punching shear, we can see the punching at a distance D/2 from the column face or at a column face. Here we can see the calculation of the moment at the left of the column face and at the right of the column face, and here at the top of the column face and at the bottom of the column face. In the column tab, we can see the interaction diagram of the column. This point represents the loads. In this case, is inside of the usable area of the interaction diagram, so the design of the column is acceptable in this case. And finally, the construction tab showing the rebars in plan view and in elevation view. Note that the piles that are battered are also shown in the elevation as a battered piles. If we go to at a glance, we can see a summary of the results, where we can see immediately that everything is passing and some areas need attention. So we can see immediately what needs to be checked. If we go to the Contents tab, we can see the results in more detail, overturning calculations, the one-way shear and the controlling combination for one-way shear at a distance D from the column face and at the column face, so two different limit states. The punching shear with several limit states in this area. Here we design the rebars for the top bars. In this case we don't have any, and for the bottom bars the program calculates the maximum bending moment in the negative side or in the positive side of X and Z, and also calculates the bending capacity of the rebars in the pile cap and finds the ratio. In this case is acceptable. Here are the transfer calculations from the column to the pile cap, and finally the column calculation for the interaction diagram. If we go to the detail tab, we can see in more detail how to calculate the overturning and the corresponding controlling combination. The pile reactions, here is the maximum pile reaction and being compared to the allowable actual capacity, so it's okay in this case, it's acceptable. Here is the calculation of the one-way shear, the different limit states, the flexure calculations step by step with the ratios, the punching shear calculations for all the limit states, the load transfer calculation with the reference to the code, and finally the calculation for the column, the interaction diagram. This is a fantastic module that is included now in ASDIP Foundation 4. ASDIP Foundation 4 will be released in a couple of weeks. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to receive notifications in the future for similar videos. Thank you very much for your attention.